Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car. I'm with my BFF Keyan. Keyan,
Oh yeah.
how's it going?
Hi. I'm good. I'm sick again, but
Are you sick?
yeah, I've been sick for like a month. Like I got sick once, and there's like a ramp up phase, and then there's like an after phase, and then once the after phase, the last one, I got sick again.
Oh.
So it's a bummer, but
3 years ago, they would have called that COVID.
well, I mean, 20 years ago, they would have called it AIDS. Just kidding. How was my week was kind of shitty because I was sick. How was your week?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy, yeah. We have we're in full underway with Top Builder, and then just been working on a lot of Startup Day stuff, event stuff, and all that stuff. And then there's other things, and then there's stuff in the lab. So
Oh yeah, lots going on.
lots going on in Austin.
Wow, big city life.
Big city life. Yeah, I'm excited to get into today's top stories, but let me see if I can move this around here.
A
Was
lot
there-
happened, eh?
Dude, I feel like everybody woke up this week and said, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and start this new year. Would you watch any of the Trump stuff or no?
I think I paid attention to a little of it. I watched his like speech thing that he gave. I was trying to find the moment where Hillary Clinton laughs at him for saying he's going
She was there?
to rename the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. She was there with Bill Clinton and she was laughing. Obama was there alone. I guess him and Michelle Obama are divorcing is the rumor.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
pretty fun stuff. Like maybe we'll have like a real White House wives of DC. So
Dude, did she already write a book? I feel like that will probably come.
she
right
did
out.
write a book.
Oh, okay, well, maybe she get it
Write a part 2.
right part 2. Yeah, I stopped watching all the Trump stuff because it just.
Yeah, it's too much.
It was. Don't get me wrong. Like I found myself watching the when he was signing all the things. He was just answering questions like he was at a post game conference or whatever. That was hilarious.
yeah.
Found myself watching it for like 5 minutes, and I looked. It was like an hour. I was like, "What the hell am I doing?"
Oh my
I was like,
God.
"What am I doing with my life?" I was like, "I need to turn this off."
Not
So
cool.
I need to figure out a way to block all that stuff, so I don't have to see it every day. I just don't.
Yeah, there's way too much of it.
It's too much. It's too addicting.
Yeah, and who knows if it like because what's interesting is like you're watching this man wield power, like you know, like a pleb would wield power if they're given power. They're like, I'm changing the whole government. I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna buy Greenland. I'm gonna annex Canada. You know,
I mean, we're going to talk about all that. There's a lot of crazy stuff. And then there's some news that we didn't even get into that,
oh yeah,
too bad, didn't make the top 5. Stackers don't care about it, so therefore I don't, at least this week. Cool, let's jump into it. Oh, yeah, before I say that, we moved our platforms over to Spotify now. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Keyan.
Oh,
if
did
you're
they give us
listening
a
to this,
deal?
You're probably listening to Spotify. You can catch us on Spotify now. There's a video attached to it.
they give us
You
100
can watch-
million like Rogan.
We got some Rogan money.
Oh
I'm just kidding. No, we
yeah.
didn't. But if you hit follow, hit subscribe, you might have to hit that again this week. But if you're listening to this, just know on Spotify there's a video option now to watch this at the same time you're listening to it, which is kind of cool because I always wanted to do that for Stacker News Live. Just never got around to it. But this week, got around to it. The other thing too is, so we have Wumble doing all the clips now. So he's getting better at it. And hit subscribe on those clips or share them online, Stackers, if you can. We're trying to grow this pod. Grow Stacker Days. Cool.
Yeah.
The number 5, if you've never seen this show, I should also say, we cover Stacker.news, front page of Bitcoin. Check it out every week. There's new news. There's new news every day. Sometimes it's news that you expect to be on there that's not on there. And it's just like, where is it at? And it just doesn't make the front page.
That's when you're supposed to put it there. That's kind of
Well, no. We was like the whole Stargate thing wasn't in the like.
oh, it's
front-
boring. It's boring though.
No, it's not. We're gonna talk about it later in the show. But yeah, I was surprised that didn't make the top or even the top page this week. But it's just stuff that Stackers don't care.
There was just like so much stuff though. It's
Yeah.
like there were like 300 Trump things. It's like who
Yeah.
cares
It
about
was great. It was a great week for news if you're a news junkie.
200th.
Cool. The number 5 top story this week is Ledger co-founder David Balin was kidnapped for ransom. So, Keyan, what happened here?
Yeah. I mean, so for a while, there were rumors that this was happening, but it wasn't really confirmed for a while. But this is one of the co-founders of Ledger. Apparently, there was like they call it a commando in this article. An armed commando kidnapped the co-founder of Ledger and his wife. And then I guess at some point, they cut off the finger of one of the co-founders.
They cut off the finger of him?
Yeah, and I think the ransom was like $100 million in Bitcoin is what they were asking for, and they cut off one of his fingers and sent it to like his associates, and then I think they freed the co-founder, and then I think a day later they ended up freeing the wife, but I guess they were holding them in separate places. This is in French, and I had to translate it to get a better handle on it, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they got him out. They didn't really, I don't know if he paid the ransom. I don't think so. I think they just, the criminals were outgunned, and they had I guess France had a pretty serious response to them being kidnapped.
So it looks like here in the French article, it says, according to information available on his LinkedIn profile, David Balin is a cryptocurrency expert. A former Ledger employee describes him as discreet, kind, curious, and very geeky in every way. Money doesn't interest him. He helped make the company he co-founded in 2014, the unicorn of cryptocurrency in France. Before that, he set up Chrono Coin. Oh, he had a shitcoin project before.
No, that was you could buy Bitcoin. It was an exchange.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Access to the funds. Did he hold out?
Oh, I don't know.
By getting his.
It gets fake. Yeah, no, they didn't disclose whether he paid anything, but I would guess like most Bitcoiners who have a lot of Bitcoin, it's not easy to spend your Bitcoin. You set up a multi-sig, it's geographically distributed, there are time locks on things, time to gain access, so.
Usually they say like when people, hopefully this doesn't happen to them, usually they say when people get kidnapped, they get kidnapped again. Like, you ever see that movie Man on Fire?
No.
It's like a Denzel Washington movie. It's definitely good.
Oh, maybe I've seen it.
Check it out. Denzel goes off in that movie. Gets the girl back though, but yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully he kept his money and the criminals didn't get anything.
Dude,
they're just going to get prison time.
The other thing, did you ever see that movie Ransom with Mel Gibson?
Probably.
Oh, that's another good one.
I don't.
They cut off the finger too.
5-finger attack.
Yeah.
Finger wrist attack.
What? It's more. This is more like
Did you say
a yard shears
Freddy
attack.
Freddy got fingered in that movie?
Death punch.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Could you take a finger loss?
Could I take a finger loss?
It's like if somebody cut you off your finger, could you?
I don't know. I mean, I've broken a
you
lot
could
of
take the
bones. I've probably broken more bones than most people, so I would, and it's not too bad. And so maybe, I don't know if I've ever had. I did have a surgery one time where I wasn't anesthetized, and that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So maybe I could take it.
Yeah. How do you think you avoid this? Because this was coming from who? Jameson Law posted this, I guess.
Yeah, Lop posted it. Lop, if you follow Lop, you'll get like 50% of his feed is wrench attacks, basically, because he has a deep interest in it. As someone who is probably a pretty choice victim for a wrench attack and runs a company that sells a product that primarily is aimed at preventing wrench attacks.
Okay. Cool. Got the top comment was from, let's see. Oh, Smirky. He says it will only get more relevant, I'm afraid. What is he saying there? What's that?
Yeah.
What is he talking about? Some thoughts on game theory that results from BTC wealth.
It talks about preserving wealth once you have a lot of it, and like how you become, your security decreases as you become wealthier. With Bitcoin.
What's that rule? Like after 8 years in Bitcoin, you're supposed to retire anyway, but I thought that was a rule.
I don't know.
Everybody
about
goes
that.
away after 8 years or something.
I don't think they do. It doesn't appear that way.
Maybe after 8 years you should.
Oh, I think that would be great.
You got 4 years left, Goob.
There are no term limits in Bitcoin.
Blockchain Boost says they were caught, according to sources close to the case. Kidnappers accepted ransom in Tether. So they got a shitcoin, which was quickly seized and frozen. 8 people have been arrested thus far in connection with the kidnappings. Terrible crime.
Okay, they found
Worst
another
choice.
source. Excellent.
So they just gave him Tether. They didn't even get the Bitcoin.
Maybe he didn't have any. Maybe,
All he had was some Tether.
yeah, maybe that's how they were holding it.
Oh, then Darthcoin. I can't believe Darthcoin did that. That's so hilarious.
It's a picture of a ring that you wear that has a fake finger on it.
Crazy. Some people will do anything for attention. And then Darthcoin says also we can have fake fingers. Good thing they didn't go for the car battery on the balls. God, dude.
It's kind of like a gross setup. I mean, you know.
Yeah, because you're like, should I shave him? Should I not shave him?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look. I mean,
Should
the
I
fact
put a
is, you
ball
have to
cap on
touch and look at someone else's balls to torture them that way, which is a lot.
Okay, so Jameson Lump also posted here. He said confirmation that Ledger co-founder David Bailey was kidnapped.
This is
It
the
shows
same.
a picture of him.
Yeah, this is the same
Gosh, man.
post, but on
Maybe
X.
not show pictures of him anymore. Maybe that's one way to do it, or just get off of Twitter and get off of LinkedIn. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what.
It seems that's where they're, the people that kidnap aren't very bright, right? So,
I don't know.
I mean, unless they have like a vendetta for you, obviously, those are like enemies. But like for the most part, like just get off of all the major platforms.
I don't think it's a matter of the platform. I mean, yeah, they're probably looking at things that are easy for them to see.
Yeah,
I think Lop tweeted shortly after this that people who have like very large follower counts have a different like threat profile than
totally.
other people.
Interesting. Crazy stuff. That was number 5 this week. Yeah, that's a big one. Number 4 top story is.
I guess it's 3, right?
Oh, this is 3? Okay, we'll go with number 4. This one's number 4?
I think so.
Number 4 top story is Molvad VPN adds Lightning payments. This is from Mega something. January 23rd, Lightning territory, 28 comments, 3,320 sats. Keyan, Molvad
people
coming on board.
I mean, yeah, Molvad is like one of the most popular VPN providers. They even
cool.
I think Brave even has a partnership with them, or their VPN is through them. But for a long time, Bitcoiners have been wanting them to support. Like Bitcoiners love VPNs, who love preserving our privacy, and Bitcoiners have wanted Molvad to support Lightning payments. I think they've supported Bitcoin payments for a long time. But it appears they're finally adding an experimental beta. A lot of Bitcoiners wanted Lightning payments through Molvad so badly that Carl Dung set up VPN, I think that's Sovereign Engineering. So you could pay for Molvad with Lightning through them. Carl Dung is is working on Obscura VPN, which we covered in a podcast like 2 years ago or something. Yeah, but it looks like Molvad is finally going to be accepting Lightning, and
Do you think that's
Carl Dung
do you
is
think
in
that's a
on that
Trump
service.
effect? Do you think? Because I mean, we saw so they also implemented it. I saw Rumble implemented it too as well this week. Who else implemented? And then I think there was some sort of like DOJ or some SEC filing for regular banks to start accepting Bitcoin as custody. I forget. I don't know if I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, there has been a few posts on Sacker News about the repeal of some law. I haven't looked deeply into it. It's kind of hard to tell because like a lot of these things are like some of these things are happening in the courts and the judicial system, and some of these things are happening just Trump is signing his autograph on a bunch of papers. But I think this one specifically was in the courts where it got repealed, and I think banks can now. But it's weird because like it seemed like a lot of these courts started almost ruling on things in a way that Trump would rule on them if he were the judge. I don't know if that's like just a coincidence or what, but it is kind of. I don't know what the Trump effect is here, but I don't think it has anything to do with this specifically.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah, but it is interesting though that like now all of a sudden everybody wants to take Bitcoin. Say it into the mic.
Yeah, I just tried it. Works.
You tried what?
I bought a month. off of Mulvad
Oh,
using
nice.
Lightning.
Nice. How much for a month?
I don't know. They priced it in euros.
Oh, not in sats? Oh.
Oh.
How many euros was it?
Let me go back.
If you use Zeus, there's a currency calculator in there.
Ah, Evan thinks of everything.
They said it was 10% off. So if I were to generate another invoice, then it's so it's 4,500 sats for 1 month. So
About $45. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, 4,500. Okay, so
$4.50.
Okay,
Or-
yeah.
For a month?
Roughly.
That's not bad.
Oh, that's great.
It's pretty good.
To use someone else's computer to pass all your internet traffic through.
That's cool.
I'm wondering if you can pay this over their API. That'll be interesting.
Oh.
So what would you use that for, Topher?
Because then you could just make like accounts automatically, programmatically, and maybe like kind of build some sort of protocol on top of that. I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, maybe each like you use a different VPN authorization for each website you're visiting or something.
Yeah, you can get really crazy with it.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be cool.
You can have you can have your you can pay for multiple hops through Mulvad programmatically.
Nick could more efficiently spam Noster using all the servers.
Looks like they have an API, but I don't know.
Yeah, you can have you can buy a voucher or you can submit a voucher. I don't know what a voucher is.
Why are these crossed out? Does that mean that they don't? Oh, it's deprecated. Okay. There you go, Topher.
Maybe it can be done.
Yeah, it looks like they have a.
Mulvad layer 2 coming soon.
There you go. Cool. Let's jump into the number 3 top story. My impressions of the Bitcoin ecosystem Investor Day. This is from Siggy47, January 22nd. 21 comments, 19,000 sats. Keyan, who are these people?
Dude. Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
seen them before.
So these are people associated with ego death, I believe. I think.
Who's your favorite ego death person?
I mean, I've talked to both.
But who's your favorite though? They're like a Marvel team. Who's your favorite one?
I don't really know. I read Len's book. I've maybe encountered Nico. Who's the other partner with Nico? I forget her name.
Oh, Andy.
Andy, that's right. I was going to call her Alex. Andy, I met Andy and Nico when I was raising for my seed round for Stacker News. They're both really nice. I've never met Jeff Booth, but
You've
Jeff
never
Booth
met
is.
Jeff?
No, have you met
He's
Jeff?
Great, dude. He's the greatest.
He seems great. He seems like a fun guy at a
He's like-
barbecue.
I would say Preston's probably the Captain America of ego death. Preston's probably he's probably like the Iron Man. It's like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
I would say Preston is probably Captain America, and I think
Yeah, that's what I meant. Preston.
Is he really?
Oh, you're
Oh,
saying
I had
he's
no idea. That
okay.
makes a bunch of sense. No, but he looks like it. So
Oh, okay. We got some fans in the audience.
okay, I would say Len is Iron Man, but
No, because Jeff
Iron
actually
Woman.
has built companies.
But-
That's why I put Jeff as Iron Man.
oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, I mean, who knows? Well, this isn't
Anyways.
the real Avengers, okay?
Anyways,
isn't
what did he
science.
write about?
He went to like Ego Dust's Investor Day. He said that he signed up for their email list and they had this, and he lives in proximity to where this was held, which is in Manhattan, in this what is the building? I forget the building. It's like
I know that building.
yeah, you've been there. Do you recall
The
the
Vanderbilt building.
Vanderbilt. It's like, yeah.
That's where Wolf's at in Stone Ridge.
Yeah, it's like it's a modern, tall building and a skyscraper in New York City. It has a picture of it in here. Anyway,
Topher, you like that building, right, Topher?
Oh, it's a beautiful building.
it looks pretty cool. I don't love it, but
Oh, no, you have to get in there and then you see it's a beautiful building.
yeah. Okay, so he gets an email from them that they're going to have this investor day. He's like, cool, maybe I can bring some of my clients who I help them manage the real estate as a lawyer. as a semi-retired lawyer. He still does a little
So
bit
he
of law
got
for them.
invited to this? Siggy did?
I think he went.
Wow.
I think his clients.
Is it because he's a top stacker? Is that why?
That's why. Yeah, Ego Death is looking at the top stackers. They're like,
you
wow.
know, I mean, like, who's the top stacker?
They're like, Siggy made a couple million sats, guys. Maybe he wants to
Siggy's
invest
like-
in Fetty.
He's like constantly just killing it on Stacker News. You're like, yeah, we got to invite this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Find out who Siggy 47
We need to
is.
get him to. Yeah, they wanted him to
Can
write
somebody
up a
interview
report.
him? Put him on one of y'all's podcasts.
Anyway, he had some clients who were wealthy that he wanted to maybe orange pill through a more traditional venture investment, and invited them to go. They said they couldn't go, and they wanted him to go and report back to them. So he went, and he was excited to go because he got to schmooze with a bunch of other Bitcoiners and Bitcoin investors. And he describes basically the event. I thought it was really well written. It was really fun to read. And he describes I guess Ross and Preston, they had a little talk to begin with, and then I think Lynn Alden gave a talk, and then Preston gave explained Michael Saylor's 3-minute Microsoft pitch, and then I guess Nico talked about Fetty, and then Jeff talked about
Preston tomorrow.
I don't know what he talked about, but maybe
Yeah,
he
he was just on Green Candle. Jeff was just on Green Candle.
Oh wow, man! Brandon really pulls the big guys.
Brandon's it's blowing up, dude. This is cool.
Yeah,
And then he brought up what, the Bushido of Bitcoin? What happened?
yeah. He's been reading the Bushido of Bitcoin, so it's
okay.
on his mind. So he's been included in a few posts, but basically, because Siggy's like, well, these aren't exactly plebs. These aren't, this isn't Main Street. This is literally Wall Street. And Bushido, there's a quote from Bushido of Bitcoin that says Bitcoiners might end up just turning into the people that they are sort of protesting against. The word was deposing that Svetsky used.
Yeah, we had Darth come with the top comment. He said, "Did you meet Saylor too?" And then Siggy says, "No, he wasn't there, but he was the main focus of Preston's presentation. He focused on Saylor's Microsoft pitch. Saylor's MicroStrategy speculative attack thing really wasn't talked about. It was all about convincing people in the room to embrace Bitcoin as a treasury asset for their businesses. The audience was mainly business people who probably loved Saylor to begin with." Cool. We got 0x Bitcoiner says, "How I picture Siggy and his wife." That's mean.
Yeah, I would say not cool, but
Siggy said not far off.
yeah, has a sense of humor about
Pretty
it.
cool.
Looks
You got any other
there's-
thoughts on this?
There was an interesting part. I mostly thought about the building. He described all the security precautions just to get up to a floor. I don't know if it's kind of crazy. We did the same. We were in the Salesforce building for Max's equivalent of this, and they did the same thing, where you have to get. I don't think I gave them ID, but I had to they took our picture, and then they put you in. They select the floor on the elevator, and you go up, and they have 40 elevators. It's a wild situation. I don't know how it was before, but
Yeah.
it does feel like it's like TSA, but in every major
Yeah.
office
But that
building.
could just be New York. I don't know. I feel like that's more like New York thing because
It was in San Francisco.
that was in San
Max's thing was in San Francisco. This was at the Salesforce
man.
One building.
we have a resident person here saying that these coastal cities are getting a little crazier.
I think it was Salesforce One. I don't remember the building, but it was a really nice building. It was swanky, at marble, everything.
We went to Trump Tower, right? Didn't we go to Trump Tower? Mm-hmm. They let us right in. It was great.
You can just walk right in.
You can walk right in. Best toilets, literally the best. You're gonna need to take a
Are
dump.
they gold? Are they the gold leaf ones?
Close enough. You're gonna need to take a dump in New York City. Get yourself to Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's the
Stop
best
by the
dump you
gift
ever
shop
take.
on your way out.
Yeah, they have barricades, or they did. This was pre-Trump election, but they had barricades around it so no one could rum into the building.
Are you going to the Las Vegas conference?
Me?
Bitcoin conference? Yeah.
I don't know.
They have the big Trump hotel there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
are they doing it there?
They're doing it in Vegas this year.
No, but is it the Trump Hotel?
No, it's in
Oh.
the Venetian or something.
Nah.
or the Bellagio. I don't know. They have so many hotels there, but they have that. They have a huge gold building that's like Trump's.
Maybe this will be our
hotel there.
time to go do like an ayahuasca trip in the desert
Why?
because it's right outside of the Bitcoin conference.
Oh, well, I don't know if Las
Maybe
Vegas
we
is
should
the
just go
right
do an
place to
ayahuasca
do
trip.
psychedelics.
We should do an ayahuasca
Maybe it
trip.
is, but I guess
Could be cool.
You
I mean,
have
just go to the desert.
You have that Johnny Depp. What is that writer? What is his name?
Gosh, what's that guy's name?
I don't remember, but
Gonzo.
yeah, Gonzo journalist.
What's his name? Phil.
You had me stuck on Johnny Depp. Are you talking about the writer?
Yeah, the writer, the Gonzo journalist.
Yeah,
Yes, Hunter
Hunter
S.
S.
Thompson.
Thompson, yeah.
There you go.
That alcoholic. Love that guy.
Not just an alcoholic, also
yeah,
a drug
crazy,
addict.
crazy guy.
Yeah, it's kind of
Wrote
Kinda
like he
demeaning.
wrote like he was possessed,
yeah.
which you got to respect.
No, it's
Feverishly writing.
he's
It's like
he's documenting an alternative state of mind,
yeah,
and that's pretty cool.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's jump into the number 2. No, wait, it's number 2 or number 3?
This would be number 1, I believe.
This is number 1.
Yes.
Oh wait, let's go number 2. Wait, is this number 2?
This is probably number 2, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Wait, I thought this was number 1.
Oh, wait. Maybe this is number 3. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, Car.
All right, we're just gonna boot
we
this.
ordered these before.
Yeah, sorry, stackers. All right, the number 2 top story this
No,
week.
this should be number 1 this week, I think.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. No, you're right. Let's do number 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is number 2.
Wow. Who's up first?
The number 2 top story this week, Bitcoin needs a sensor. 23,000 sats, 27 comments from Scoresby. He gave 50% of this Stacker news post to 0xB10.
Oh, no. Man, they're really stacked. We don't do sats yet for forward, so they really stacked some cowboy credits on this one.
There you go.
But yeah, so 0x B10C, they've been documenting, or they run these awesome like mining monitor. They like monitor the whole Bitcoin network, almost like pretty much single-handedly. So they mining pool observer is the name of the project. Basically, what it does is it generates the standard block template, I think that Bitcoin Core generates, and then it looks at the block templates that are getting mined, and it tries to determine whether censoring is happening or there are novel kind of block template construction algorithms happening on the part of these mining pools. And they've done a few reports on what appear to be censored transactions from blocks. And Scoresby basically makes that more more approachable and describes not only what's going on, but the game theory around, like where this could go if it continues. And then what's interesting is that if there's censoring happening, but not a lot of censoring happening, the game theory might not be great, and the censor might continue to succeed at censoring. But if there's a lot of censoring happening, then there is the potential for a buildup of high fee transactions that would incentivize hash power to move away from a very large mining pool. Hopefully we don't have to experience this in real time too much, and we never have a miner with 51% or a pool constructing blocks for 51% or more of the hash power, because we have Stratum V2 now, and I know Ocean has its own protocol that's very similar, and so miners are beginning to construct their own blocks. Very few of them do it, but anyway, very cool write-up. I highly recommend, if you want to get in the weeds, follow some of those links in Scoresby's post. Do you have something to say on this, Topher? I saw you kind of...
No,
Okay.
it's right on the money. I mean, the moment that a pool tries to censor, people will attempt to leave the pool.
Well, that's what I think
happened in the past.
That's what, yeah. So Scoresby says that, and Jason B has done some write-ups on this too. If you talk to some of the miners, they're not that sensitive to censorship. They don't really care that much. And so for like a few transactions getting censored, they're probably not going to relocate to other pools. the only thing that would, the Scoresby's conclusion is the only thing that would really get those miners to switch pools is if they are making less money as a result of mining with the pool that is censoring. And what were some of the other? There was one other thing. Yeah, and the 51% thing is even makes it a little more interesting than some of the censorship we've already seen, because we don't really have 51% of the hash rate controlled by one pool yet. But with 51% of hash rate, you would get reorgs where if anyone does switch away to another pool with less hash power, they're perhaps getting 0 block reward, because the 51% of the hash rate will just keep reorging out those censored transactions. So it's, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any of this yet, but it's still pretty fun to think about.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think anybody wants to be the first one to try it to sustain a 51% attack.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee that you would be successful at it at all, even if you had a majority of the hash rate. There's so many other things that can come into play that would unseat your dominance, and it's so much money down the drain if you're unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Especially if you do something so hostile as to reorg out other valid blocks.
Yep.
To maintain censorship. Like, yeah. So like if you could, I mean, relays decide what blocks they want to relay. So, you know, relays could implement their own sanction list against miners and just choose not to relay their blocks. Like, things could get really nasty.
Yeah, but then we'd have a hard fork, more or less, or it would, yeah, it would at least be, we would have 2 chain tips simultaneously, and then resolving it would, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a hard fork necessarily, but it functionally would kind of be for a while.
So at the end, it says here that and I don't think you mentioned this, but the 14 blocks were part of the OFAC sanction transactions list, and those were the ones that were missing. And it looks like 11 blocks were mined by F2 Pool, while SBI Crypto, via BTC, and Foundry USA each mined one of the blocks. The missing transactions from the SBI Crypto's block and the Founders USA's block, and then they name off the number of the block, were displaced by higher fee rate transactions. And the sanction transaction missing from via BTC's block could have been too young to be included. So I guess the 2 questions that I have, one for you and Topher, like, is he saying there that this could have just been done prematurely?
Well, he says that it isn't the first time F2 Pool has done this, and that the pool founder has said that they reserve the right to refuse to confirm transactions. So it wouldn't be unprecedented. And yeah, I don't know like specifically like how long they waited to see. You kind of do have to look at it over time if you're going to make the claim that transactions are being censored, especially if you're just looking at the on-chain data and you're not like going out and asking them, hey, are you doing this? And you're just trying to infer it. Mm-hmm. Then, but I mean, that's a lot of blocks to not include certain transactions. And I don't know what the fee rates were looking like for the market at the time and for those transactions specifically. But I mean, if it made sense for them to be included in a block template, and they were being included in a lot of other block templates, but they're just surprisingly absent from F2 Pool, I mean, that does kind of raise concerns. Yeah. It's
too bad that he didn't see. So, like, I'm looking through the OFAC sanctioned Bitcoin address list, but does he mention which addresses were actually blocked from that list? Does he actually show that anywhere, or is it just on? Because it would be cool.
At the top, he has a list of transactions. Like, there's a whole.
Yeah,
so
but
he's commenting on a post that was made earlier.
I think it was last year, maybe.
Well, so this post that I'm reading is
Okay, I
from
think
January
I found
16th.
it. I think I found it. Yeah.
And so the guy was looking at the Bitcoin address list for OFAC sanctioned addresses and tracking these transactions.
Inputs, output. And then where is this going?
I remember seeing this pop up on Twitter. Yeah, it's just the blog post that he links for B10C.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Oh,
No,
so
he's-
it looks
Look at
like they're
that
just
too.
creating new addresses then. That's what that looks like.
Well, I don't know what that's about.
Well,
but
look, because that was a 1220. Is that the one that you're talking about, Topher?
Well, I'm just looking at the blog. So
Okay.
he links to the blog page.
yeah, I think if you want to get into the details of it, you can probably follow the breadcrumbs and the blogs. And B10C does these. They've been doing these excellent write-ups on. For as long as I've been in Bitcoin, they've been monitoring the network like
It's
this.
kind of like a mystery novel.
It is. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I could see why you could get into this and then be like, oh, where's it going? And then
I think
why
this
did-
is one of the more. I think the mempool mining stuff is probably one of the more interesting aspects of Bitcoin.
It's too bad we don't have like a newsletter of like this kind of stuff.
I think they cover. I think that this occasionally is in Optex stuff, and yeah, but it
Does he
is
have a newsletter?
fairly technical. No, but he posts on X. He posts on Stacker News. This was probably on. I think this was on Stacker News earlier a week ago, before Scoresby wrote
Interesting.
this. Yeah.
So what did Scoresby write about? Because we're just talking about the Zero X post.
I already described what Scoresby
Oh, okay.
wrote about to
Oh,
begin
okay.
with, but he basically talks about this situation, the censorship situation, and the game theory that emerges when someone's censoring. And basically what he says
Okay, I
is
see
that
what he's
censoring
saying,
is
yeah.
good for mining decentralization, and we actually want people to
Oh,
censor.
this is going to move fast. Yeah, I see what he's saying. So he's saying eventually at some point we're all going to be on OFAC lists.
That is not what he's saying at all. What he's talking about is like it's better for mining decentralization if we have pool censoring, because that'll lead to situations where there's an opportunity for a smaller pool to mine these sanctioned addresses, because there will be enough fees that they can make profit by
So what we're told
feeding
is
the
that
censor.
the OFAC is mostly just North Korea, right? That's what we're told.
Now we have a ordinal disrespecter has showed how he's protesting, or how he censors, and and that he's basically doing what Scoresby
Is this a Kaboom
is
Rex?
requesting.
Alex, sponsor the pod, man. What's going on?
Oh, here's another here's another China miner.
Here you go.
Oh, this is the bitch hands miner. We've talked about this before.
Why do you call it
the
that
bitch
for?
hands?
Turn this into like
because
a Stacker News / Home Shopping Network channel.
BBC, give us your best
It's
mic.
hot, dude.
Give us your best
Oh,
mic row.
it's really hot.
that's why it's the bitch hands miner. It warms hands.
Ooh, look at this.
It's a great hand warmer.
Hash rate 1.2 terahash.
Oh, really?
Smells like Bitcoin.
Oh,
Love it. Plug that bad girl back in.
yeah. We have a ordinals disrespecter in Plub Lab.
Yeah, bring on the censorship. I
Yeah.
agree.
Wait, so where are you guys falling on this?
I think Scoresby's right. I think I think this is one of the reasons why I'm not super happy about Trump and like pro crypto stuff. And I know a lot of Bitcoiners are, but I think it's actually bad for Bitcoin because it hurts decentralization when people begin trusting.
What's that saying?
Like trust is bad for
What's
Bitcoin.
that saying? Bad trees bear bad fruit. Good trees bear good fruit. Something like that.
Maybe, yeah. The wine from older vines
This is
that
why.
produces.
I mean, like,
yeah.
I'm not saying there's a theme here, but you mess with shit coins, you get shit flown your way. I mean, look what
Wow.
happened to Ledger. Look at all this other stuff. It's just this is just a natural occurrence of being in the cesspool of crypto. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Well, I think this is a
To
little.
each their own.
Yeah. I have a different.
Are you
view.
offended because you have cowboy credits now?
No, I'm offended. I just don't understand how it ties into this.
I guess making a point.
I know, but it's like a sort of a non sequitur, I guess, is my.
Yeah. Depends how you pick it up.
All right, I picked it up wrong.
Now it's time to lay it down. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up on this?
No, I think it's a great post. I love these posts Scoresby's doing, I think he's really making Bitcoin game theory approachable to, like technical adjacent plebs. I think a lot of stackers are, people who are becoming increasingly more technical, and this is like approachable to them. Which is
I feel
pretty
like
awesome.
Topher loves these Scoresby's posts now at this point. He comes every week to talk about them.
They're thought provoking.
Yeah.
More of that on Stacker News, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Articulate said, nice write-up. I think hashers acting in their immediate best interest is maybe a fair but not entirely accurate assumption. A lot of hashers are very knowledgeable about Bitcoin, but not put immediate best interest over the viability of the project as a whole. Why risk killing the goose? Something like this happened with gigahash.io, got a bit over 50% years ago. The pool didn't even exist for very long after that. If hashers feel legitimately threatened, they will act, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Squaresby said that's a big unknown. It's curious to me that the Bitcoin security relies to some extent on people being knowledgeable and farsighted. It's kind of like assuming that Bitcoin developers are more likely to report a bug than exploit it. While we may hope this happens, sure, it doesn't seem like a great way to operate. Don't we have to assume Bitcoin exists in the most adversarial environment possible?
Great point. And again, Jason B. wrote a post where I think he was at the Nashville conference, and he went around talking to miners about pool centralization, and most of them were like, what are you talking about? Who cares? I'm getting this many exahash or whatever, or I'm hashing this much. And my energy costs this much, which is fun. They're just in their lane. But like, I don't know if that's the point Scoresby was making, is like we can't rely on people being knowledgeable. Like a lot of Bitcoin assumes knowledgeable participants.
Almost like the Streisand effect. That's what Nim said.
Yeah, the Streisand effect is right when you
Effect?
tell people not to talk about something and they talk about it more. I don't know how that. I meant to try to think about that
No,
more.
I thought the Streisand effect was because Barbara Streisand is. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It creates more. You try to obscure something or not keep something from being disclosed, and you draw people's attention to it. And I guess this might. I don't know how this applies to mining. I haven't thought about it enough.
I think he's talking about the OFAC list.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's creating it's creating the opposite of what they want.
It's like an intended effect. You want there to be controversy so that people look at the issue versus not.
Yeah, I think the Streisand effect thing is more like this OFAC list is making Bitcoin more censorship resistant if the miners start censoring. So that's why Scoresby's like, we want you to censor more because then Bitcoin will become more censorship resistant in response to censoring.
Bitcoin thrives in an adversarial environment.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's exactly the...
Looks like there's another post that somebody referenced here. But yeah, looks like it's a Hacker Noon post.
Yeah, Edward Prospero writes great Bitcoin posts.
A lot of good comments in here. 0x Bitcoiner said, I understand the economic incentive not to censor transactions, but is that enough? Is Bitcoin losing the battle of censorship resistance? No. Scoresby said, I don't think so at all. For me, the gravest concern Bitcoin censorship resistance is the prevalence of census KYC and lack of privacy in transactions. If the state can connect a physical address to a Bitcoin address, they can put you in jail, even if they can't stop your transaction. Yeah. They'll also maybe cut off your finger too, which is possible.
That's not...
Yeah, man.
Very cool. Even Edward Bayer, who runs I think Rigby, which they do this really cool like lotto mining, rento lotto mining stuff.
Man, it's been a very interesting. It's weird how like all the top 5 stories generally have a theme week to week. I've noticed on Stacker News.
What is the theme this week?
Have you noticed that? Like it's like very adversarial. It feels like stackers are feeling very adversarial this week, so they upvoted everything that's adversarial.
I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, Bitcoin is.
I mean, we had the Ledger one that's like a adversarial attack, depending on how you look at it. This one.
I mean, this is where all the action happens. The adversary stuff is where all the action happens in Bitcoin, because otherwise it's just number
So maybe
go
that's
up.
just something that just interests us as Bitcoiners.
I think. I think
Maybe.
so.
Cool. Let's jump into the number one top story of the week. But before we do that, Stackers, I'm implementing a new segment here on the fly. It's called Car Shills Stacker News Live. We need you to go to Fountain right now. Shoot us a boost.
Are you trying to compete with the Cowboy segment?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
How dare you?
No, go to Stacker News Live. Hit subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a zap. Share it with a friend. Do these things. You'll help Wumble keep his job. There you go. Right, Keyan?
Yeah, Wumba's been doing an excellent job on the clips. Really happy.
But if you guys don't do it, Wumble gets axed. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wumble.
This is like sort of like Hunger Games, or
Help Wumble keep his job.
what is it? Squid Games.
Anyways, I'm just kidding. Kind of. But there you go. We're going to jump into the number one top story of the week. It's Ross is free. This is
Dude.
from Ding 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 541, January 21st, 83 comments, 6,085 sats. Keyan, what happened?
Yeah. So I mean, there's a huge backstory to this, but to get to it right to it, Ross is out of prison, freed from his 2 consecutive life sentences plus 40
Crazy.
years. And it's a pardon, I believe, and not a. I don't know if it's a they didn't-
Full presidential pardon.
full presidential pardon. So not a. He doesn't even have the felony on his record anymore, I think is what that means. And so he's not gonna. He doesn't have to like tell. I don't know his people that employ him or whatever. Not that he has to be employed. Apparently, he probably has.
You think he gets his Bitcoin back?
I don't think he probably. Maybe
They
he
sold
does.
it all.
He might have.
They sold all.
He might have a right to that Bitcoin after the pardon.
Somebody
I don't know.
owes him
I don't know how this works.
Somebody
really,
owes us
but-
some tether or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but someone did some analysis on like Ross's like dust from like dust addresses, and they're like Ross now has like $42 million worth of Bitcoin just from like dust from some transactions that they know is associated with Ross. So
Just from shaking out the couch cushions.
yeah, so more or less. So maybe that, and I think quite a few Bitcoiners chipped in and gave him a few Bitcoin. So I think
Nice.
they raised at least a couple Bitcoin last I checked.
Nice.
And then Strike started selling merch, and with the proceeds going to Ross. So I think he'll be set up nice. He's released a video.
Oh, you released it. Do we have it in here?
I don't know if it was shared here, but it was shared on Stacker News a few days after the pardon. But he's basically thanking Trump for letting him out. It seems very grateful. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what is next for him. I hope he has to feel great. There's someone that works at Cash App who I think was incarcerated at some point, and he said you have no idea how it feels to get out of prison when you're in it. And he said it's like nothing you've ever experienced, and he said it's probably even bigger for Ross.
Yeah. Donald Trump also posted. He says, "I just got a call. I just called the mother of Ross William Albrecht, or he spelled it wrong, but to let her know that in honor of her and the libertarian movement, which supported me so strongly, it was my pleasure to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon for her son."
Yeah,
He went on to further say, "The scum that worked to convict him were some of the same lunatics who were involved in the modern-day weaponization of government against me. He was given 2 life sentences plus 40 years. Ridiculous!" Exclamation point. End quote. Do you agree, Keyan?
Do I agree with what?
What your president said?
He's the president of the United States. I don't know if he's like my president.
No, he's your personal president.
Oh,
Do you agree?
Well, I don't agree with him being my personal president, but I agree that that sentence was like cooked and like.
Yeah, they were trying to kill Bitcoin.
Yeah, a lot of
and
people
they
think
failed
that
miserably.
a lot of people think it had to do with Bitcoin, trying to kill Bitcoin. Maybe it could have been. It seemed like they were making an example out of him. Selective
Dude,
prosecution.
he made a website. Come on, let's Let's be honest about this. He made a website.
Well, I mean, I don't think he should have been in jail. I don't think those laws that were, he was convicted of breaking should have existed. But yeah, I'm happy he's free.
Topher, what do you think, Topher?
Oh, I mean, I remember when it went down, and it was like the most outrageous thing ever. They pretty much targeted him, framed him for murder, just broke every law that they could to get him convicted.
Thanks, Obama.
The guys that arrested him also went to jail for trying to steal his Bitcoin,
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
and they ended up getting a lesser sentence than he did.
Yeah.
It's just it was like a huge travesty of justice. I was surprised by how many people supported Ross and wanting to see him free outside of the Bitcoin community.
Well,
I didn't realize
Yeah, I
that.
think it was his mom, dude. Like I interviewed his mom in 2017 on my then crypto podcast back then.
What was it called? Cars Crypto.
Thriller.
Thriller Crypto.
Yeah. So lame. Anyway, long story short, I interviewed her and she talked about everything, but it was primarily her that like did all of this. Like it was her going to these conferences week in, week out. She came on my podcast and we talked about her son and all that stuff. And I told her at the end of the podcast, I even said it. I was like, your son is going to get out one day. I can guarantee it. I told her that personally. I have a picture on my phone with her. She's probably one of the best mothers in the world. And I'm more happy for her than I am for Ross, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest. But I'm happy for Ross too, because like he means a lot to that family and to his mom. So
It was really, that sounds awesome. It was really cool to me about this is like the mechanics of it. It was like the Libertarian Party. I think they like vouched for Trump or like they endorsed Trump. And for the endorsement, they wanted Ross freed. And apparently they're like really,
Nice.
they were really critical in this getting done.
yeah.
Which is great.
I hope he's the first domino in many dominoes of people getting pardoned that were unjustly incarcerated and are just essentially political prisoners, which is what he was. So I hope he's he's just the first one.
What did Palm say? Oh, yeah. Palm said, if you're unfamiliar with Ross Ulbricht's story, I highly recommend listening to this. That was the one they had at that Bitcoin conference.
Oh, is that the
In
recording that he did?
21, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
Really?
powerful one.
That's a powerful one.
What it means to lose your freedom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's, what do you think he's going to do next, Keyan? I have some thoughts, but besides just hang out at home and be happy.
I don't know. Maybe
I
he'll
think he's
go.
going to build something.
Okay.
I think he has it in him to build. I don't know if you ever looked at his tweets and stuff, and he would post things on his personal.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Substack or Medium. I forget what it was, but he was a builder at heart. So I'm curious to see if he like goes out and builds something, because it would be really remarkable to see him use this second chance and go off and like fulfill his dreams of creating something. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing him in the future, maybe whether it's a couple years or a few years or however long it takes to go out there and say, hey, you know what, I want to do something. I don't know. He seems more of a person that's just not gonna like
Fade into the background.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like a doer.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm sure if he wants to, he will. And he'll succeed at it.
Totally. Anyways, that's number one story stackers. We're gonna jump into our favorite stories of the week. But yeah, super happy for Ross. The one I guess this would be your top story.
No. Well, this was one of the top stories, but this was also a good story. I liked it. You didn't ask me my top stories this week, so.
Okay, well this will be one of yours.
Okay.
What is this one?
Yeah, so Joe, he actually describes the nature of crypto scams really well, and
It's a kind of a boss move that he did.
yeah, but so the beginning of it and all throughout, he peppers it with the types of crypto scams we see and how they operate, And then in addition to that, he goes to an Orioles conference and interviews a bunch of people who are currently engaged in a crypto scam. One that hasn't rugged yet, been fully executed, but is in process. And he'll do this segment on like, this is the nature, or
There's
this.
Giacomo comes in there too.
He describes
It's
the
amazing.
scams.
Dude,
to-
Giacomo goes into like different levels of scamming.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He
He's like
really
the third
understands
degree
it
scam.
well. Yeah.
Oh, it's the best, dude.
Yeah. And then he'll take one of these clips like this, and then he'll go and he'll have an interview with someone where they're like doing this part of a crypto scam.
Dude, it's a well produced like doc. I would call it just like a film doc. Like
Yeah.
short doc,
a
whatever.
very like a short doc.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then there's a part in the documentary where he like the person comes up to him. It's like, hey, we'll pay you to tweet our token or whatever. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that clip, dude.
Yeah. Dude. There goes the best shitcoiner of all time right there. Dang, dude. Good stuff. Anyways, I thought this was great.
Yeah, very awesome.
He didn't know what cowboy credits was. Joe Nakamoto didn't know what cowboy credits was.
Yeah,
I don't understand what you mean by cowboy credits.
It's true. I don't know how we need to do a better job with them. But
Documentation. Coob.
I know it's gonna take time. I have
Tell
someone.
about documentation.
Okay.
Don't ask me about documentation.
Topher has good documentation.
Documentation, do it dead last.
Or do it first. Or do it while you're doing it.
Okay.
Cool. Sorry. Next one I want to bring up is Early Days. I launched Early Days this week. Did you see it?
I did see it. I thought your promo video was great. Oh, but this is our first podcast, the Lightning Bounties guys.
Yeah, Lightning Bounties. Did you see that team?
I haven't listened to the full pod yet, but it seems awesome. I love Lightning Bounties. That was like one of the projects I was going to work on. I was deciding between that and Stacker News. I was going to build bounties into GitHub, like we have on our GitHub repo now, but make it like a plugin that other people could use.
It's crazy because Will apparently was in a hackathon with Topher in 22.
Whoa!
Right?
Small world.
Yeah. Blub
Stats for tips.
Blub hackathon.
Ah,
Yeah, I didn't even
good
know
old
that.
stats for tips.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm thinking of bringing it back.
Yeah,
Just the tip?
Just the tips.
just the tips. That would be an awesome name, actually.
I think that was originally. Cool. And then the next thing I wanted to bring up was this one. I think this was a good one that you had posted. Or no, it wasn't you. It was Simple Stacker.
Yeah.
We were talking about examples of culture being downstream from technology. Can you talk about this, Cam?
Well, I found this really cool podcast that talks about that interviews founders in the civilian defense industry, and the podcast is called Open Source Defense. But I love these pockets of the internet where you're maybe not super engaged in them, and this would be one of them. People who are making holsters, I've interviews with people with bullets, manufacturing bullets, those kinds of things. But I found one of their blog posts, which is also just great. They compared TikTok bans to gun bans and how basically like guns, TikTok has escape velocity, so it will likely never be really banned. Anyway, one of the bylines on the podcast is that culture is downstream of technology, and Simple Stacker pulled that out of my post and wrote a post asking stackers what their thoughts on it were, finding it interesting, and yeah. So basically. He was familiar with the term that politics is downstream of culture, and that like culture influences politics, but not that further upstream of culture was technology. And I think I tagged you in this because you always say,
Yeah, I always talk about this stuff. It's interesting that the technology, though, I wonder if, do you think, because we're at a point now with, you know, a lot of tech guys are in the Oval Office or whatever, administration. Do you think now technology has escape velocity from, no, hang on. Do you think it's now we're at a point where maybe tech is fully engulfed everything now at this point? Where it's no longer just downstream of it. It is the stream. It is, you know what I mean?
Software eating the world.
Well, I don't know. I guess, right? But like it's even, I mean, because I agree with you here that culture is downstream of technology. I think that's massively evident at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's gotten to a point where now the stream is just technology and everything is in that kind of stream at this point? Politics, culture.
Well, that's what this is saying is
it's
that
just, like,
like
enveloped everything.
the spring is technology.
Yeah.
And everything comes from like all the water, all the culture, politics, whatever.
Has
comes
it
from that
always
spring.
been that way though?
I think you can make a pretty reasonable argument that
Through history?
yeah, like the things that we consider like socially important and relevant are all on some level dependent on technology making them that way. Like just think about that. I mean, if you just look around this room, how much, like this isn't like a log cabin filled with sticks and straw. And even sticks and straw require like cutting instruments to produce them. So yeah, everything I think is.
So maybe like the first kings and the first empires were built by these technologists of their age.
I'm mostly saying that I think technology and humans are like pretty much the same, like very directly connected. Like upstream of technology is humans wanting to make their lives better.
Topher, you have any thoughts on this?
Well, culture being downstream from technology, I mean, how else would you get your culture if not through technology these days? From your family, right? But, I mean, a lot of families, they give tablets and phones to their kids at a really young age.
They actually give them the technology.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Anyway, I thought it was a great post. It's good.
Yeah.
And I think it pointed out things that were obvious, but maybe people don't talk about.
Yeah, I don't think you can really, people don't really go anywhere without their phone, you know?
Yeah.
So, and if you don't go somewhere without your phone, like,
Do you even exist?
well, like, I'm trying to think of like where you could sort of like build relationships and culture outside of technology. And the only thing I can think of is for the average person is going camping.
The Amish use phone, don't they? No.
Yeah, but so to the point of this, the Amish have a relatively static culture, and that might be because they have static technology. So it's maybe to the point of that quote that culture is mostly responding to technological changes rather than kind of evolving independently of technology.
Well, it looks like the Amish are using e-bikes now, though. Look at that.
Huh.
Maybe technology is coming to the Amish at this point.
I mean, some Amish will use certain technologies. I think they have like a leap year or something where they get to just go ham on technologies to experience it as they come of age. But I'd be surprised if it's like pervasive.
Yeah. Good post. The other one that you mentioned this week was, this is the one I wanted to bring up. So I don't know, is Bitcoin Pleb Dev still here?
Austin, are you here?
No,
Might
he's
have
not.
headphones.
Anyway, so learning to code. My MVP is inspired by Pleb Dev. So Blockchain Boog made a post, and he said that he's been trying to learn to code for about 5 to 6 years, and after doing tutorial after tutorial, he feels like he was getting nowhere closer. And then he said he found this guy, who maybe you know, Keyan.
Yeah,
How to
both
build.
know. Yeah.
And now he's come up with some lofty goals, and he's going to pursue it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. I've been watching Blockchain Boog. I think he was expressed interest in
OG Stacker.
OG Stacker. Been expressed interest in participating in Chain Code's new Boss program, where they turn Bitcoiners into FOSS builders. And I think they weren't able to do the coding exercise, but they're continue to be determined, and they are going to learn how to code anyway with the help of PlebDev. They say they're going to try to resuscitate BSATs, which was an app that was built for iOS for Stacker News, and yeah, pretty dope.
Is that pretty cool? I thought that was cool. Wanted to share that.
Yeah, it's fun. What's cool is like we're gonna get a lot more programmers because it's gonna become more accessible, easier to learn.
Yeah.
Programming.
And then the other one I wanted to bring up was the hacking Subaru,
Oh, this was cool.
tracking and controlling cars via Starlink admin panel. Did you see this, Topher? Seems like someone should invent an air-gapped vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see some mention of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all you needed was a few pieces of like information on the car. I think like the license plate number, the address, like the person's address and their name.
Well, it looks
Something-
like just the state and the license plate. Then at that point, you're kind of in.
Yeah, and then you have full control. There was another one, I think.
Oh, is that the coordinates too?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Then there was another one, I think that they did. It was with a Mazda, I believe, that I saw a few months earlier.
Oh, wow.
To
Look, they
basically
just
summarize
authorized
things.
themselves. Wow, dude. That was what, like, took 30 seconds? Dang, dude. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's quite the security breach.
Yeah, Subaru, what are you doing with your life? Somebody get that guy a security audit. Dang, look at that. Does this make you happy or does it scare you, Keyan? Because you
I don't really drive. I don't drive.
Don't you have a Subaru?
No, I don't drive.
Oh. What do you think, Topher? You're into this kind of stuff.
Well, I don't drive a Subaru. Seems like a lot of more liberal women drive Subarus. I don't know if that's like.
Are you projecting
thing?
there? What's going on?
I don't know. It's just what I've noticed. Like they love to drive Subarus. It's like a thing.
It's like the Patagonia vest of cars, is what I say.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, well,
I
it's
know
like
somebody that drives a Subaru in this building.
oh,
Oh.
hopefully they're cool.
I won't say who it is.
We're
But,
not going to dox them.
yeah,
Too much respect for him. Cool.
yeah.
Anyways, so basically, don't get a Subaru now. It seems like.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna patch it or whatever.
Did they?
Probably.
Why the
They
Subaru
probably will.
admin panel? Yeah, so he literally does the whole thing. Look,
Yeah, it's a
really
crazy
walking
security
through.
breach.
Literally walking him through the whole thing. Anyways, great post from Frost Dragon. Thank you for posting this stuff on Stacker News. This is stuff I come for.
Yeah, I think 0x Bitcoiner posted a summary article from Ars Technica, but this is like the original source.
It's kind of. I was telling Topher, I was like, when are we gonna get an open source vehicle at this point? Like, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That would be kind of cool if you could jailbreak your car like you could your phone.
I just think we're at that
I think
point
you
now.
can, but not,
Maybe
people
that's a
don't
gas
really do
vehicle.
it.
Maybe an open source vehicle is a gas vehicle.
These are gas vehicles. I don't think these are fully electric vehicles. So
Or maybe finding one that was built in the 90s before the electronic stuff.
for
started getting-
computers, yeah,
Yeah.
would be a good way. You kind of want the computers, you want the self-driving stuff, and you want the
I think you want the maps for sure.
you want
the
that
Spotify
stuff.
and the Audible
It's useful,
stuff. Yeah.
but you don't want it to be hackable. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
connected to the internet. It shouldn't be. It should be
Yeah.
built like a I don't know, like a nuclear bunker thing.
Yeah.
I think Teslas, they have pretty good security on their cars, and a lot of the data that's processed for the autopilot from all the cameras is done on the car.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
a lot of that data doesn't even leave the car. It's kind of cool.
That is really cool.
So
So it's like the Apple of cars, is what you're saying.
Yeah, older school Apple where they actually cared about your security and privacy. I don't know about the newer school Apple.
Not the Tim Apple.
I don't know.
Uncle Tim.
I kind of left Apple when Jobs left.
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave. But
R.I.P.
yeah.
The next one was this one I brought up, The Power of Being Lazy. This is from Ard Vark. He's been dropping some knowledge in the fireside philosophy. And he said, I was talking to my younger sister on the phone a while back, and we were discussing the difference between myself, her, and my older brother. She came to the conclusion that my older brother would paddle upstream to get to his destination, but he would get there while she would just go with the flow and eventually get there. I, of course, would take the bridge, get there first, and ask them why they were wet. I've always been lazy and will always be lazy, which may be surprising given my post history, because he's been posting about the working out stuff. However, I'm interested in something. I tend to always search for the path of least resistance when it came to weightlifting, for instance. So he goes, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is that negative traits don't always have to be negative. Am I lazy or am I a free time maximalist? Coin has two sides. Keyan, proposed to you. What do you think? I think this is a good, interesting conversation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, they always describe great engineers as being like
I know
high-skilled, lazy people.
I know a guy that talks about that. The best engineers are lazy, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's I like the way Thiel's definition of technology is something that does more with less, and so less is maybe the energy input, the effort you put into it. You're getting more from less effort. That's laziness. But that's what technology is it's giving us, it's allowing us to be lazy. And so, yeah, I think laziness is a good thing, not in terms of like being a couch potato, but in terms of trying to give you more time to do the things that you want to.
Yeah.
Is good.
We had Fabs. He said, I said it once and I'll say it again. Lazy people are mostly very efficient people. And then everybody jumps in. I can confirm being very lazy. I also became a libertarian as I don't want to spend time working for politicians and parasites. 000DDW2 said that's only if they're lazy and goal-driven. Just being lazy doesn't do anything. That's also true. Fab says, did you notice the word mostly? And then they started arguing. But yeah, I thought that was it's basically goes against what they tell you in school. Undisciplined said my middle school math teacher told us that mathematicians are very lazy. That's why they prefer short, clever proofs over longer brute force proofs. He says, I tend to be on a different flip side of this, but it's the same idea. I tend to procrastinate on projects that I know I need to get done eventually. The result, though, is that once the deadline is close enough, I focus on the task until it's done and ultimately do a better job in less time. Yeah. Anyways, I thought those were good posts this week. I feel like those are posts you would have probably mentioned, Keyan.
Oh, well, they were great. They were great posts. You know me. I'll just go like within the top 10. I wanted to mention there was another Operation Sailor post, where Pillar basically you call him Pilar, but Pilar.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that one. Basically, because I guess people asked him if he would do it again or now's a good time to do it again, and he's basically like, yeah, don't time the market. I would still do this. If it were today, you start out feeling stupid and like you're operating at a loss, but numbers go up, technology or whatever, and Sailor keeps buying at the top for a reason, and you could too if you're a pleb. That's a true Operation Sailor scheme. So I thought that was a great post.
What if this was really Sailor? What if Pilar is really Sailor? He's doing like a club version of.
That would be surprising because I don't think Sailor would do that. The other thing I wanted to mention was Breeze raised $5 million.
Oh, where is that at?
Which is like one of the first like raise announcements I've heard this year. So, but definitely the first raise announcement I've heard this year. But in recent memory, I haven't seen many public raise announcements. So for all the startup founders out there, this might indicate that we're seeing.
Oh, right here, I see it there.
VCs have maybe refilled their coffers a bit, which is pretty awesome.
They've had a good year. Later,
Oliver.
They've had a good year.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing more and more people. It feels like every month they have a new product that's integrated Breeze SDK in it, and so makes sense that they would be raising some monies. They raised $5 million. I think Ego Death Led, which we just heard from. Very cool.
Nice. The last post I want to share today was help me make sense of the Stargate project. This is from Zasposhko, January 22nd, Econ Territory, 7 comments, 464 sats. And I was also surprised by this. He says, so I'm surprised there is a discussion about the Stargate project here already. It got posted twice, but to me, the big elephant in the room is this. And then he goes to this post on Twitter. And so on Twitter, the OpenAI announced that they're doing a Stargate project. It's a new company which intends to invest $500 billion over the next 4 years, building new AI infrastructure for OpenAI. We will begin deploying $100 billion immediately. And then Elon Musk, who's one of the biggest fans of OpenAI, says they don't actually have the money. And then he goes on to say SoftBank has well under $10 billion secured. I have that on good authority. So he definitely knows something. And then Sam Altman comes in there and says, wrong. As you surely know, want to come visit the first site already underway? This is great for the country. I realize what is great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies. But in your new role, I hope, what did he say? He goes, I hope you put America first or something like that. Yeah, you mostly put America first.
Yeah. I mean, do you have thoughts on it? I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
sure,
so I thought it was really fascinating because it got picked up by TechCrunch. So it was all over the place. They said that they're going to do it in Abilene. So it's going to be an actual site. Its first site's going to be in Abilene, which is like west of Fort Worth. And it sounds like the money's there, according to what they're already proposing. And then they, just to clear it up, they also said that OpenAI and SoftBank were reportedly putting $19 billion each into Stargate. So, I think the best part of it is this right here. I think Undisciplined really hit it on the head. He goes, "I have no answers for you, but this sets off all my cronyism red flags. If it's not a complete boondoggle, I'll be amazed." So I think you're kind of seeing that already happen this early in the Trump administration, where it's like. And even Sam Altman mentions it, where you're just kind of seeing this kind of crony capitalism happen, and it's obviously not the first time this has happened to America, but there's been multiple times where you have, I don't want to say the deep state because that's such a cliche word, but like you have the military-industrial complex, find a new technology, invest boatloads of billions of dollars into it, that then get funneled into the economies of scale, I guess. And it's just becoming, at a certain point, it's just like, we're just doing this over and over and over and over and over.
But I don't think,
again.
is America investing this money? Or I thought this was just like, Trump was like, I don't know, giving them like permits to do it or something. What is the story
Yeah,
here?
so it's unclear what the connection, if any. Stargate has rumored a partnership between Microsoft. But if you remember, Microsoft owns half of OpenAI LLC. And so, and Microsoft is also a very big proponent of receiving, how do you say, like, I have it here on this side. I was going to bring it up later, but let me bring it up now. They also have, come on, refresh. No. Oh, no. Anyway, let me see.
The VPN on...
Yeah, so right here. So there's already allocations for agencies or spending amounts of billions of dollars. This is since 2015. It's probably only have gone up. But you can add AI to this list now. And so what I'm trying to say is, like, I think there is this growing trend that they will keep printing and keep building up these companies like the OpenAIs, like these other AI companies. And it's just going to get to a point where it's just like, can we afford this anymore? Can the government keep backstopping everybody at this point? Like, just so we can build out a whole nother military arm. And this is where I think it's really headed, is this, like the AI military industrial complex. And they write about this. And it has me kind of concerned because I'm wondering, like, this is full steam ahead, and I think we're already seeing like Palantir with their partnership with Anthropic, and I think what I want to get back to the original post is I do think this is a very important post, and that's why I was surprised that it wasn't a discussion on here, because if you kind of follow all of this, you kind of can see where everything's headed, and I think it's headed into this situation where we're moving into this kind of like AI military industrial complex. That's all I'm saying. It's just this is where it's going fast. Anyways,
I mean, it certainly seems like AI will be significant in future conflicts with other nations. So it makes sense that the military would get involved in it because the technology was probably super useful in war scenarios. I think we were watching that. I think we talked about it a few months ago, but there was someone who worked on OpenAI's safety team wrote a huge report on where they think AI is heading, and they were basically discussing this exactly, where at some point nations get directly involved in AI development, and it becomes like this sort of secret technology that nation states are competing on getting ahead of each other on, and like spying on each other and that kind of thing. So I don't know how I could see how that like is like downstream of this kind of thing, but this specifically, I don't even know what's going on here. It just seems like Trump is helping promote them spending their own money. I don't get it. That is kind of my thing. It's not like Trump is like matching them, right? He's not like
no. So, and I think, and maybe there's maybe somebody will write this post, but it's kind of what Undisciplined says. Like crony capitalism is where you just hire based off of, I'd have to search it, but you hire based off of not merit, not actual due diligence. It's more like, okay, this is going to help me, this is going to help you, cool, you're here now. This is going to help me, this is going to help you, cool, you're here now. And it's a very maybe subtle way of saying that maybe this new administration is just allowing anybody for a certain amount come in and make some bigger overarching changes to the administration.
But I don't understand, like Trump. I don't think the current administration is giving the money, or the government isn't giving the money directly for this, right? So like that's, I mean, it just seems like Trump is helping promote the project and celebrating their investment and willing to like support their investment, which all is a kind of, you know, a form of cronyism because other companies aren't going to get that privilege.
It's still early. I'm just saying that it is ringing off some alarm bells for some people like myself.
Well, it's definitely a weird marriage, but I don't, as of yet, it doesn't seem like it seems mostly like a PR thing for the most part right now, as far as I can tell. But I understand that it implies future cronyism, government cronyism.
I mean, it's not a secret that government is paying for a lot of these services. Like it's not a secret.
As they should. I mean
it's not, I know, but at a certain point, Keyan, like when do companies have to survive on their own? Like, is it always? I mean,
well, you had that chart earlier where the money that Microsoft is probably providing software for most of the government, and so that's where the money is coming from. It's not like the government is just giving Microsoft money for doing nothing, right? I assume, like, you know, Microsoft Teams it's like 10% of the U.S. population works for the U.S. government directly, something like that.
Yeah, I get all that, but I think what I'm trying to say here, and I think what's implied in the other posts, is that doesn't matter anymore, where it's like whatever's being used by the majority then becomes a part of the spending budget. It's more like, no, you either invested in my shitcoin, or you either gave me money for the campaign, or whatever that exchange was. Now you're a part of this thing, and here you go. There's carte blanche on whatever you want to do.
Well, what is carte blanche, do you think, in this case?
I think Elon's somewhat right, but it's really hard to trust what Elon says. But it does seem like the OpenAI guys, or whoever's behind a lot of that, obviously Sam Altman, but it does seem like that's just getting right away to the front of the line before any other people. And then you're seeing some of these other rivals, like, and it's he talks about it here, but you're seeing these other rivals also see the golden goose as well, and also trying to secure some contracts with the government, so that way he just doesn't eat it all up. And that's on, and maybe that's fine. Maybe that's just the way it works in life, and I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, like that's exactly what happened with some of these defense contractors, like Lockheed Martin, Booz Allen, and the other ones that they mention here. And if the AI kind of just becomes this thing where it's just controlled by these bigger entities that are also just arms of the government, then this just leads to mass surveillance at scale. Anyways, maybe too many jumps.
Yeah, I think that's mostly my thing. Is like I think the jumps I can follow the jumps. I'm just not like this specific news item doesn't seem. I mean, it's like this has been happening forever, so I don't how the specific news item relates to this forever happening doesn't really make a bunch of sense to me. It's I don't understand what the administration is doing to enable this, other than holding a press conference where they're like, look at all these people investing in America. This is good for America. Trump is enabling America to do this now. It's like a Trump thing. I don't like it, but they're not. They're like their hands aren't in the like pie directly. It seems like, as far as I can tell. I don't know. That's mostly.
Yeah.
And we're not
saying,
making progress. I don't think, but
it's fine.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's just alarming to a certain extent because it's moving very fast. And for me, when I see this, it's just like a lot of red flags popping up, like undisciplined in the comments. It's just like, okay, so like how fast do we need to move here? It's the first week, and some people keep moving to the front of the line more so than others, and it just appears like it's becoming a whole nother arm of the government at this point, the whole AI thing. And that's unfortunate because, like, sure, that'll help with data centers and stuff, but it's not going to help us long term when it comes to our privacy and about living free and freedom and values and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. Incentives all the way up and down.
I mean, I like freedom and privacy.
It's fine. This is kind of one of those where we'll bring it up now. Maybe later in the year, it'll all come together. We'll see. We'll get another news post.
All right.
With that, let's jump into the top comments of the week.
Top comments.
Top stackers of the week. Keyan.
Wow. Look at someone's me. Oh, I spent 10K over what I stacked. Dang. Undisciplined is the next top stacker. We have someone hiding. Then we have
Gray Ruby.
Gray Ruby. We have Simple Stacker. Elvis
Mercury.
Aardvark after someone hiding. Blockchain Boog. And
EK.
then Den EK number 13. Lucky 13. But yeah, lots of great stackers here in the rankings.
Have you seen more stackers for, I guess, are you attributing cowboy credits to this as well too, or are you just attributing just sats?
Oh, this will include cowboy credits, but at this point, cowboy credits make up probably like, I would guess somewhere around 10% of zaps. It's just when people's lightning setups are either not set up or they're not sufficient. They're like failing for some reason.
So 10% of
volume, I would say, is probably cowboy credits.
So for mostly everybody's connected, either a wallet.
Yeah, that's what you're kind of. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Active stackers eventually learn that they should connect a wallet, and they do.
All right, let's jump into the most popular segment in Bitcoin, the cowboy segment. There you go. Keyan up.
Giddy up. Honest. Okay, well, the top cowboy is hiding, but right below them is me, of course, and then we have Undisciplined, 117, Blockchain Boog, TN Stacker, Gray Ruby, someone in hiding, still stacking after all these years has kept it. I'm surprised.
Blockchain Boog is moving up, right? Or is it just me?
There was Bitcoin. I think it was Bitcoin is the future. They lost their hat. They were in the top 5, and they lost their hat a few days ago. So we have some change happening. Not a whole lot, but we have some. keeping this wildly popular segment
Oh, Max. There goes
entertaining.
Max, number 33.
Climbing.
I don't think I'm in here, though. Peter Todd's back. Look at that.
Oh, maybe the fallout from that documentary finally
Tristan Beach.
came down.
Yeah, I'm not in here.
Oh, you're probably
There's
at the
Pleb Boy
bottom.
right there.
Wow.
83.
Dang, surprised. That's quite a streak going.
Where's Siggy? I don't see Siggy on here. Oh, well, hang on a second. Maybe he's one of the hiding.
Could be hiding. He might not have a hat. You never know. Maybe Siggy's an ass milker and he hasn't earned a hat.
Darth Coin 2, I never see him on here. Doom, doom, doom. A lot of hiders.
I don't think Darth Coin hides. I think he's like against hiders. Or maybe he isn't. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. But, that's the Wild West. People hide,
There's
they
Albie.
show. They,
Albie comments on this a lot or no?
yeah, I think they're
Do
really
post or no? Or they
post. You can tag them if you have support
Oh, yeah, they do
questions.
post.
You can tag them. Looks like you never zap them. Shame.
What is that planner?
I think it's like a calendar. Oh, it's recurring zap payments
Oh, nice.
using NWC. Have you used Albie Go yet?
Yeah, because you can make sub accounts.
No, not Albie Hub. Albie Go.
Yeah, so Albie Hub you can make sub accounts.
And you have an Albie Go on your phone.
Albie Go allows you to add those sub accounts.
Albie Go is basically like Wallet of Satoshi, non-custodial to your own.
Yeah, but the Albie Hub you can make sub accounts. So you can have like a Snacker News hub and then make a Keyan account that then you can connect your Albie Go wallet to. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to what Justin was doing, where Justin had the Justin from
Fetty?
No, Justin from gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name.
Oh, you mean
Shocknet.
Oh,
Kinda similar to that.
yes. With Lightning Pub.
Yeah, kind of similar to that same model, but slightly different, I think, as far as like how you interface with it. Or
Yeah.
completely different, I would say, how you interface with it. But
I think they have
similar idea.
I think for receiving, in the case
And
of
Justin, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you will.
well,
I know Justin.
I don't know if he listens to this, but I think for Lightning Pub they have a NIP that is different from NWC for receiving. It's like a static payment code that operates like NWC, but it's like static. You don't have to like generate a specific string to receive.
Justin Shocknet?
That might be it.
Oh, there it goes. So you said where?
Should be.
Oh, he doesn't have his bio thing in here.
Oh, he doesn't have his bio updated.
Let's see.
NIP 69. There you go. That's it.
Here,
That was it. It was. If you go back, just hit back button. No, hit the back button on your browser. There you go. NIP 69. That's it. Bang. Lightning.pub, static payment codes,
yeah, this was
over,
last year.
no
Yeah.
stir.
Yeah, this is what he had at Star Update, I think.
Yeah. So this is his alternative to NWC receiving, but also LNURL and Bolt 11, which uses Nostr. That's why I think it's more a direct
easy.
comparison to
Nostr Rails.
Nostr Rails.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, there you go. That's your fun fact on Lightning this week. Or not, depending on how you look at it. Or actually, technically, it wasn't a Lightning. It was a Nostr fun fact.
Well, yeah, it was like Lightning and Nostr, which are
There you go. Either way.
in the minds of plebs everywhere.
Cool. That's all of the stories. That's all of the segments that we have this week. We're going to jump into the Zamps. So we got any Zamps this week? We had Blockchain Bogue. Said, come to construction and engineering territory. Talk construction and earn sats.
Oh, wow.
What is this?
Look at that little advertisement.
Oh, hang on. Let me see. Construction and what?
And engineering.
Oh, wow. This is a paid advertisement for his territory? Is that what he's doing?
I think he just advertised
Wow,
this,
God,
dude.
He just zapped her. Wait, did you just invent a new term?
No, it's a common term. They use it on Nostr all the time.
Oh, zappertisement?
Zapvertisement.
Zappertisement?
Zapvertisement.
Zapvertisement.
Because you can zap if you're like the top zapper and a lot of Nostr clients on a note.
Well, technically, this is a Nostr Zapvertisement because is it found on Nostr?
I think it is. If this is a Nostr native zap? This is
I think it is. Yeah. Anyways, he goes, got cool construction engineering news you wish to share. Drop the links to discussion here from small home repair to the construction of a nuclear power plant. Share it with snackers and let's discuss.
Yeah, some real cool
I didn't
stuff.
know he was into construction stuff.
I think they might be. I mean, they certainly are because they post a lot of interesting, like bigger construction projects. I suspect
Largest commercial and
strike me as
industrial.
possibly a civil engineer.
Solo project in Arkansas history. What is this? Wow, he posts there pretty frequently.
Oh yeah, at least a couple a day. I got
I
some.
might subscribe to this blockchain book.
Oh, you've blocked it, or you've muted it? The territory?
No, I'm saying I didn't even know this territory existed.
Oh yeah,
I might have to subscribe to it.
it's pretty awesome. And what's nice is he's tying it back into Bitcoin, but
Did you know
pricing
about this
everything in
territory?
Bitcoin. Of course,
Oh,
I'm a fan.
10 sats only. Dang.
He's making it juicy.
There you go.
Let's get it going.
Oh, it looks like even KR.
Yeah, KR posted in there about ugly office buildings. He did a video, like a short video about I think
why
the
office
Epic
buildings are so boring.
Epic Systems, which they provide, I believe, like medical record software. They're like this multi-billion-dollar company, and they have a really awesome campus. And he does like a fun video on it, like very modern.
What does the
video.
A stand for?
August. That's his new I think content brand.
Nice.
August. I
I like
forget
that
what.
font.
Yeah, very tasteful.
He was on the first episode of Stacker News Live. Did you know that?
The first
I
episode.
think he was.
No.
No, he was on the second episode.
Nope.
Nope, he was on the third.
He was
episode.
on a episode that was maybe like 50 episodes in. It was maybe
No, I
a
think
little.
it was like number 5, wasn't it?
No, absolutely not. Nope. That was when we were in the
6
two
people.
Pleb Labs ago.
Version 2.
But
No, version 2.
version 2 of Pleb Lab, but we had done over 10 episodes at Capital Factory.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, at least. And then that was like a
And
few
then he
months
came
in.
on the show.
Came on the show.
To this day, he still messages me say, "Car, that was the best show of my life."
I think that's not true. I think that's really
It's not true at all.
fib.
Fib, major fib. Anyways, check out the construction and engineering
Wow.
territory.
Yeah, it's advertisement.
And then Piez also said,
Beers, mushrooms, and
working
guns.
out. Oh,
Yeah, like juicy limbs.
there you go. Cool.
Heck yeah,
That's all we
420.
got. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
Shoot, what am I doing? I'm hopefully not going to be sick this weekend.
Is that why your energy's low? You're sick?
Dude, my energy is fantastic. So
Now your energy's been kind of low this week.
it's been low for like a month. I've been
You need to get a vacation, man. Hey, did you
Vacation
figure out where
would be
you're going on
nice.
vacation for?
No, I need to go back and review what. Gosh.
Why don't you just get a dart and then throw it on a world map?
Oh, because that is too. Then I like control. Okay, I like
Just get a
control of
dart, throw it
where
on the
I'm
world
physically
map, and then just
located.
wait. And then
What if
think
it's like the
about
middle of the ocean? I have to buy a yacht
it.
or
Dude,
something.
I mean, there's islands out there you can sail to. Yeah, no, don't go in the ocean though. That's scary. I've been watching a lot of that. I Escaped.
I was thinking about this. Like I was wondering why all these CEOs have these mega yachts, and I think it's basically like a floating island with all of the amenities on it, and you can get as far away as humanly possible.
Yeah, but not if you hit a
from
rogue
everyone.
wave, dude. If you hit a rogue wave,
A rogue wave. You've been watching too many like TLC crisis
Yeah,
videos.
I love
or
that
whatever.
stuff. It's my new jam this year. Because like it really shows like people that just go through, like this guy ate his urine or drank his urine for like a week, no, 2 weeks, and then they have these kits that they sell for the people that boat, and then
So they can drink
inside
their
of there
own,
they
yeah.
have like water, how to make water, like they have like little food kits, they have like a flare gun, so like these little kits, and he had to go back into the thing, grab it, and then he gets out, and then he's in that little thing, and then he like figures out how to live, and then once he loses water, once the kind of the dissipation from the one that makes water for him goes away, and at that point he's like, I'm so screwed, and then he gets saved. Luckily, I think there's just like he hits the shipping channel lanes or whatever, and then they find him. But if he never went back into so when the ship was sinking, if he never went back to grab that little thing, he would have never survived.
Wow, that's great. So
So that's why you shouldn't go out in the ocean. It's scary stuff.
I think a yacht might be okay. What are you doing this weekend?
We have 2 workshops tomorrow. So Santos from Zebedee's doing a workshop, and then we have Armand from Timestamp doing a workshop. And then me and crazy guy here, we're going to go and build some real life stuff. So that should be cool. Car is going to build real world stuff. Like with hammer and nails.
Oh. What are you going to build with hammer and nails?
Can't say it's secret. Maybe we'll show it next week on Stacker News Live. You have to wait and see.
But we only have we have the one camera. And
We'll move it over there. We'll turn it around. You'll see. You'll be like, whoa, you guys built that? I'll be like, yeah, we built it. So that's what we're doing.
Wow.
It's going to be a fun, exciting weekend.
Maybe
You should come by. You'll see real builders building
literal stuff. Maybe you could do a post in the construction and engineering territory, or find a tutorial.
Way to tie that in. I just might. Anyway, no, that's what we're doing this weekend. That too, and workshop stuff. But it's gonna be fun.
It's workshop season.
It's workshop season. But anyways,
excellent.
Stackers, go out this weekend.
You
go out and build something real memorable. Post it in the construction engineering territory. And I think Blockchain Boog will zap you.